Hello and welcome everyone to the Gold Squadron podcast stream here at Worlds 2019. This is the first round of the Last Chance Qualifier. I'm here with my co-host Nami Lee. How are we doing, Nami?
Good, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I am really excited for this matchup that we have. First round, a lot of these players are really hoping that they can get themselves into Worlds. So we got how many? We got over almost 200 people here at this Last Chance Qualifier.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's the how do we make day 2 here?
So you need, I think they're taking an amount of people from the Last Chance Qualifier. So I think they're taking like 150 people from today.
Oh, wow.
And making it in. So you have to just be in the top 150 in that range in order to make it into the actual main event.
Right.
So that could be even some 2-4s look like they might make it. So
Yeah.
that's really interesting.
So it's going to be a really cool day. Ryan and I were just talking about how we were going to pick up some of these games, and it's going to be a lot of win-and-in situations.
Sure.
I think we're going to be looking out for that all day long. But right now, everyone's a blank state. We're all at 0-0.
That's right. The matchup that we have in front of us here is on the left side of your screen. We've got Vince Chan running a scum squad with Ketsu, Fearless Maul, Shadowcaster, Old Tarok, Pred, and Cavill with Dorsal Turret, Veteran Turret Gunner, going against Stephen Kim with a triple resistance, Poe Dameron with a lot of fixins, Heroic, BB-8, Integrated, Heavy Laser Cannon, and a thick Nien Num, Heroic Static Discharge Veins, which is really interesting. Pattern, Black 1, HLC, Heavy Laser Cannon, and then filling it out with Tali Lintra with Heroic and Advanced Optics. Nami, what is going on with some of these lists?
Well, we've been seeing a lot more 4, 5, 6, 7 ship squads, and here we are. We're a little bit more classic, right? We've got 3 and 3. Ketsu's made a resurgence here in the last quarter or so, and so Old T's always been solid, and Cavill's always been tough to kill. And then we've kind of got, the same type of staples here on the Resistance, right? Poe's always been around. I think we have a pretty standard Poe build here. It's the Nien that's a little bit interesting, right?
Yeah, that Nien does deviate a bit from that norm. The static discharge veins is something that is going to be really interesting to see how that plays out for Steven. And in case you were curious what those do, static discharge veins state before you would gain 1 ion or jam token, if you are not stressed, you may choose another ship at range 0 to 1 and gain 1 stress token. If you do, the chosen ship gains that ion or jam token. There's some errata in there, but essentially what he can do is Black 1 with Nien, take the ion instead of the weapons disabled, pass the ion to someone else, ditch that stress if he's within range 1 with Nien's ability. So it's kind of it's 8 points, but it's a one-time, I'm going to ion you, and you're going to get wrecked for it. Which, against something like Sun Fac in the meta, since Nien moves before him, could really prove to be valuable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because when you're ioned, don't forget, with the new rules, all you can do is focus, which means there's no Sun Fac in this scum squad, obviously, but that means you can't do any reposition, you can't rotate that turret, all of those sorts of things.
Yeah. And it looks like, do we know who has initiative here? Because I believe Vince set up all of his ships first, and now Steven is, so I'm assuming Vince has it. So Vince's 5s will move first, actually. The 3 5s.
Correct.
And then Nien, Tali, and then Steven will get Poe last here.
Right, I believe that's what happened because Steven has a 3-point bid in this squad, and Vince is right at 200 points.
Right.
So in this sort of squad for Steven, it doesn't necessarily matter if Nien moves first or second. He can play around both, obviously.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting to see how he is able to work around some of the tractor beam shenanigans that Vince can bring to the table. And let's speak a bit about those shenanigans. So Ketsu with Shadowcaster, Fearless, and Maul. Don't forget the start of engagement. There's a ship at range 1 of Ketsu, and she has her mobile arc. In her front arc, she can assign a tractor token to them. So bumping into Ketsu in the front, if you're a small base, is a dangerous proposition because you're going to get tractored, and then a range 1 shot's going to come back at you. Old Tarok can strip tokens off of you if you're not careful, and then Cavill, if he's firing with that dorsal turret and veteran turret gunner, can really sling a lot of dice.
Absolutely. And again, it's kind of, we're looking at super combos on both sides, right? So they both have well-rounded lists, but Steven's Nien almost super combo would be devastating. But at the same time, Vince's combo here would be devastating. If he can land all of those at once, maybe tractor someone onto a rock, then get those 3 shots on them, then strip the tokens and get the shots, that's going to be a world of hurt, right? There's not a lot of ways around that.
And if you look at how they've set up all of their obstacles, right? You've got the various rocks here, four corners of the board, And Vince is going to want to be slow rolling Ketsu, making sure you can already see how he's bumped behind. He's bumping behind Tarok because he wants to keep everything in front of him and not allow Steven to get around his backside. It's even possible that Vince could come by this way with Ketsu and then K-turn and then turn back around because he wants to keep those rocks in a position where he can put Steven in places where obviously he doesn't want to be.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting, right? Because he is taking Ketsu a little bit slow. I think sometimes when we see Ketsu on stream, we see a tendency to go quick, right?
Sure, just fast ship.
I want to go get the tractor as soon as I can. But in this case, Vince is kind of looking at this approach and saying, okay, I want to make sure. He wants to see what Steven's doing.
Right.
He wants to make sure he can line it up. And it'll be really curious to see how long Vince keeps that mobile arc pointed to the front.
Absolutely.
If at any point Vince decides, okay, Steven's not going to give me this tractor.
Right.
When do I say, okay, I just want to take my shots now? When do I say, it's not a great time to go for the tractor? Because I think that's an important distinction when you're playing Ketsu is saying, okay, do I always go for the tractor? Right? When do I choose to go out? Because, in this edition of Ketsu, it's a lot harder, I would say, to get it.
And I agree with you. If the common knowledge when you're flying Ketsu is you want to keep that front as much as possible. But like you said, if he's not getting any shots, sometimes you have to make a choice if you're going to rotate. Something else I wanted to add, Nami, is that Steven does have a bit of an advantage here with the heavy laser cannons on both Po and Nien.
Right.
Against that large base of Ketsu, Ketsu's strength a lot of time with Maul is that she can just evade up every time and really tank shots, even 3-dice shots. But if she gets a couple of those 4-dice HLCs on her, like right in a row, Steven has the ability to just chew through that 10 health.
Yeah, it's consistent, being able to do consistent damage, right? Because like you said, there's probably, if you're shooting with 3 or even 2, it's going to be hard to do Ketsu.
Right.
Or maybe you'll get 1 at a time. But with the HLC, if you're doing 2 at a time, or maybe let's say you get some favorable rolls 3 at a time, that puts Vince in a hard situation, right?
No doubt, and especially with something like Po, right? If he can line that up and get it right, because Ketsu is predictable. You for the most part know where she's going to be, so that if he doesn't have to burn one of Po's 2 actions on a reposition, and he can just focus lock every time 4 right into Ketsu, that'll really be a grind. A lot of times against this Vince's squad, you don't go after Ketsu first because of how tough she is with a lot of ships. I think Steven's squad is one of those where, you could go after Ketsu first.
Yeah. Let's see. He's going to take the 3 straight here with Tarok. Again, it'll be interesting to see the engage point because this is very curious to me, right? The positioning of this. Because Vince could use this, but Steven could as well. Steven's a little bit behind, but we'll see. And Vince looks like he's going to barrel roll here.
I'll be curious to see if Vince decides to take this as the engagement zone.
Yeah.
If that is where he wants it to be. Because if he ends up bringing all of his ships in this way and tries to get the engagement here, he can use these guys to his advantage to sort of force Steven into a spot he doesn't want to be. Whereas Steven wants to maybe get the engagement in this area because this is the most open spot of the board right here. If he can come in quick and get stuff happening here, then Ketsu doesn't have a lot to work with on that tractor.
Yeah. Well, I think your original point is coming true here, Ryan. He's going to go straight. He's going to look to make sure maybe take this alley a little bit, or maybe he's going to set himself up here. He's looking to go later in the board because Steven hasn't really committed with Po yet, right? So Steven's kind of can go anywhere. Po can go 1 straight, go 2 hard, wherever Po needs to go. Whereas these ships are a little bit further out, right? So that's going to be 2 or 3 turns of engagement later.
The good thing about Nien with that black 1 is that he can go whatever speed he wants to go. Nien is not tethered by basically anything because of that ability. He can do a 4 forward, 4K, pattern analyzer boost, ditch that ion, pass the ion to someone else, ditch that stress. Nien is a very dangerous ship to deal with. I actually really like Steven's squad quite a bit here, and you can see him really pressing to get past these rocks because he wants to move as much as he can, get the engagement away from them because he knows that this round, that is something he's able to do, that there's no danger of the engagement actually happening here.
Yeah. And being able to have that bid and moving after Ketsu, I think the 4 straight there really informs Steven's decision. So it's like, okay, I'm going to boost. I know next turn I'm not worried about it.
Yep. Yeah. And Poe's moving straight here, but that very well could have been a situation where if he wanted to, let's say Vince had decided this turn or had moved in more this way, Poe easily could have ducked out and headed this way for kind of a flank around. But I think it's smart of him to keep Poe back, keep him away from Ketsu a little bit, which allows him to have more control over where he's pointing that bullseye.
Yeah, and Poe with the barrel roll there, I think, is purely in reaction to Vince. Right?
Sure.
Because if Vince takes those inner corners, Steven's probably thinking, okay, I'm just going to boost to the right.
Totally.
I'm just going to get out of here. We can go around these rocks, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to be safe.
Exactly. And I'm really curious to see where Vince decides to go now with Ketsu. And because you want, with that squad in particular, you want to trail with Cavill.
Right.
And have him be your hammer sort of follow-up. And you want to lead with Tarok to strip those tokens, and Tarok wants to be in range 1, but you have to be careful that Tarok doesn't get popped. So Tarok and Ketsu are kind of working in tandem super well. If you're going to try and punish Tarok, you're going to get punished by Ketsu.
Right.
So I'm curious to see if maybe Tarok does a 1 hard here and Ketsu does a 2 hard, and they sort of pivot the formation to something like this. But then, that allows Wraith to maybe move along that side as well.
Well, it's an engagement clock, right? So
Yeah.
Vince is probably thinking right now, okay, like when am I going to be able to engage? Because if he turns here, like we said, it's probably not this next turn.
Right.
But Steven, if he hits the gas here, he's going to have the wraparound on his entire list, right? So it's almost taking a bet. Like, does he think he's going to go fast?
Yeah.
Is he just going to slow? Or is he going to be safe and just come around the rocks, right?
Right.
Engagement is everything here, right?
I honestly think if I'm Vince, you do consider 4K'ing Tarok and Cavill and 5K'ing Ketsu and just flipping it back this way just to give yourself a little more time as they come around, because then you could get the engagement in this area where you have these rocks to aid you, and even the gas cloud as well.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to get, and it looks like Ketsu's going to turn in. Is it the 2? Yep.
Looks like the 2, yeah.
Okay. So Vince is going to want to take those fight in those inner lanes here.
Right.
Yeah. He may be gunning for Poe here, seeing a slower approach with this rock here.
Seeing Poe being a little bit away from the rest of the squad means that at the very least, if there's an engagement here, Poe probably won't be a part of it.
Right.
So he at most is probably taking some heat from Nien and then a nonsense shot from Tali. And if he evades here, which I feel like he'll do, if he's able to evade, then he is at low risk of taking any damage.
Right.
And there it is. That's the evade.
Good call.
Yep. Especially with that cloud, if you look at the angles. And then here's the 1 hard.
Exactly.
Yep.
And if they are taking shots here, it's not really detrimental. But I think another thing is, if we go straight here, we can start moving the arc to the side if needed, right?
Yeah.
Like if Steven really puts on the gas and gets out of this round, doesn't want to fight,
sure,
we can still get shots off, right? Maybe you're not going to get the tractor, but you're still going to get the shot. It looks like we bump here.
Yeah, it did have a bump with Tarok. Looked like it was really close, but I mean Tarok's fine there too. Like he can bank next round. It looks like he's at a clean 45-degree angle, so that's probably fine.
Yeah, as an X-Wing player, you always want those angles, right?
Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
okay, as long as I know where my turns are going to land,
yeah, and even
I'm okay.
sometimes when you bump, like when you're setting your ship, if it's like, you know what, this is actually like a clean 45. Yeah. This is fine, even if it's not. So it'll be interesting to see if he decides to go with the 3 hard here, black 1 boost, drop an ion onto Tarok, and only take a return shot from Cavill. Because this would be a really strong opportunity potentially to just nuke Tarok out of the sky.
Well,
oh, that's a lot of echoing happening.
Hey, Dion.
I gotta fix that.
That's a lot of echoing. we're in the danger zone there for a second.
So to catch you up on this game, Dion, we're starting to get our engage here. So Steven here, he's playing the resistance list. He's coming around with Nien. Vince has turned in with his Ketsu, Tarok, Cavill as well. It doesn't look like we're going to see any track today, but we are probably going to see some shots here in a minute.
That's a pretty smart call, too, by Steven to boost there, because he'll take, I think, just a range 3 from Cavill here, if anything.
Yeah.
And that means Nien can get Tarok bumped. So, on tokenless Tarok, range 3, Tali coming in, which is nice. Let's also not forget that Tali is, a lot of people like to kind of say her ability isn't great. But against something like Ketsu, she can mitigate that tractor that's just been tossed onto you.
Yeah.
She's got Ketsu in her bullseye, which isn't super hard when, it's that large base ship.
And then the real interesting here is Steven's going to kind of take this halfway approach with Poe, right?
Right.
So again, Poe has had all the options throughout the entire game, right? Poe could be, we've talked about it, go straight, go side, and go around.
Sure.
And with this positioning, Steven's saying, I can still do those things.
Right.
So here, you have no idea where Poe's going to engage, and then it will obviously depend on this action here, and we're going to roll. Okay.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. Because next turn, too, he's got to be a little bit careful of this guy for when Ketsu comes a little fast next round, but I think that Poe would be okay probably doing a 1-4. I bet this is what I bet happens next round. I bet he does a 1 forward, barrel rolls this way next round. So even if he gets tractored, he can't be put anywhere on the rock.
He's a little bit of, it's almost like a baiting here for Vince. Sure. It's saying, okay, Vince, if you come at me as fast as you can, I'm going to punish you here.
Yes,
right? Like,
exactly.
I will have all the abilities to punish you if you really want that Poe.
It's a really, really good approach. It's a really, really good approach. And I think he's going to see if he can nip Nien with a Shadowcaster shot with Ketsu.
Yeah. And it looks obstructed, so it will have the extra die, will have the modification on top of that, even though they don't have any tokens.
Sure. Yeah. Does have force, though, for Ketsu, so. Right. And he'll probably spend that. Yeah.
Yep, so hit crit there.
3 for Steven. And he will
with
the conversion.
Cloud. Yep.
That's big, too, because that means he doesn't barrel roll Nien in front of that cloud for the next turn.
Right.
Or forward to get a Cavill shot, any number of things. Looks like Tarok. That bump with Tarok does seem to be, does hurt Vince.
Yeah, because he won't have the shot here.
Yeah, doesn't have the shot, doesn't have a token.
May have one here. Yeah.
He'll have just a normal range 3, not a dorsal shot, but just, chooses to hold on to that token.
Yep.
So Steven will, don't forget, Tali's shot with optics, that has a really good chance of being 2 hits on the roll. So
check.
Oh, he does choose to spend the focus on Cavill.
On Cavill.
Yeah.
And the thing is, on average, when we look at the dice of 4 die, even on some you'd probably expect 1, 2 in that area. But when you don't have modifications, you're accepting the fact that there could be some variance in there.
Sure.
Right? That's the downside. Now, if he gets the cloud here, that's really helpful.
I don't think he's got the cloud on this Tali shot.
So hit crit.
Oh,
it looks like he did have the cloud. Okay.
Did have that cloud. Yeah. I don't think he'll get the cloud against Nien, though. Oh, no,
he didn't
get
it.
The cloud. Yeah, that 1 crit. We're going to take a look at what that crit is in a moment. And 1 crit coming in from Nien. Range 2.
Disabled power regulator.
Okay, and the crit for Tarok is disabled power regulator.
Yep.
So next round, he'll get an ion token.
Yep. And it looks like a second crit on there.
Oh, what is the second crit?
Hey guys,
we'll
how's that echo?
As well.
Ryan, can you hear me?
So we'll work on that.
No.
You're fine. Disabled power regulator, fuel leak.
Fuel leak. Okay, so we have a disabled power regulator and a fuel leak on Tarok.
Get the 2 hold down too.
Yeah. So Steven draws first blood. That bump on Tarok, Nami, proves to be disastrous.
Yeah.
Unlikely that he takes 2 crits there, but that's sometimes what can happen.
Well, we had just talked about that, right? Like it's very unlikely, and you would expect a little bit of more from the dice. But you know what? When you don't have mods, if you bump, that's what you can expect.
Sure.
Right?
And so now Tarok's in a vulnerable position, and like Tali rolled naturally hit and crit, but it's not unheard of that she rolls 2 hits there, right?
Yeah.
So with optics, you get those 2, and then it's 4 greens. You could not roll, 3 or 2 evades with those 4 greens.
And really here, the crits kind of inform Vince's decision making as well. So he's got to be very careful, right? Because he's playing from behind now. 29 points. Steven's ships aren't exactly easy to kill either, so it's hard to find points there. But at the end of the day, Tarek can pop here because any stray crit that goes through from any of these shots.
Poe can initiative kill him.
Exactly,
as well. Yeah, so
All right,
I
guys,
think
I'm
what
doing a quick
Vince
test.
needs
Can
to
you guys
think
hear me?
about here is just knowing that Tarok's probably going to die because of that disabled power regular the following round, and deciding if he wants to sell him out now.
Table
And
2, can you hear me?
use him to get rid of tokens on another ship and lay a haymaker into someone else. But this is also where Steven could really take advantage of the black one from Nien, or even just like doing any sort of thing, like any kind of maneuver. Nien is wide open on where he can go.
Well, the map is so interesting here, right?
Yeah.
Because you could do any number of combinations. Like you can go here, you can go here. There's all sorts of places that Vince could probably be. Oh, sorry, Steven could probably be. And Vince has to think about that, right?
If it were me, I would do a one bank with Nien in to the right, which can set up a potential Talon roll the next turn.
Yeah.
And then it gives you flexibility because he could close the S-foils because he'll move the whole squad. So if you have to barrel roll or whatever, that's fine. Poe, like I said, I would personally do a one forward barrel roll left, and then Poe action into a focus or whatever you need there. And then Tali's a little more interesting. She could do. I think it depends on where Vince goes, but a two bank here is probably safe as well. I think if you do a one bank, one bank with Nien and then a two bank with Tali doesn't quite work. But if, like you said, Nami, if you expect Ketsu to come hard, you could easily just turn in here as well.
Well, the second part now is okay. So Steven has half points on Tarok.
Yeah.
Tarok's probably bailing out.
Sure.
Right? Like
could.
Steven might get very conservative here and say, I don't want to be here. Maybe I want to, clear some of these.
Or Vince, right?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Vince. Does Steven go for Tarok, or does Steven say, hey, I've kind of got prime real estate in Ketsu right now. I've got all my arcs.
Yeah. I think that, so Vince could probably do a 5 forward with Tarok boost, right? 5 forward boost, get out of dodge, and probably not take any more damage from him. And that would be, and then take the Ion and use that to an advantage to bait Steven into moving to try and finish him off. Because some players will get antsy. They see those 2 crits and like, gotta finish him off, gotta finish him off.
Yeah.
But I think you just take what Vince gives you.
Right.
You play your game. Vince is on the heels a little bit, and you understand that now, like you said, you have the advantage on your shots. You've got him outgunned if Tarok decides to not be in the fight.
Right. Well, and the other thing is Vince has to be on the offensive.
Yeah.
Right? Has to at least start thinking about how he's going to pile those points together.
Absolutely.
Right? And it looks like
Ketsu going hard.
Ketsu is going hard, yeah. It'll be really interesting to see what Poe does here.
If it is that one hard and that barrel, you could barrel roll back maybe. I don't think that would get him out of one. That wouldn't get him out of range 1, but it would at least mean that Ketsu wouldn't be able to
rock him.
Yeah. And honestly, the one hard from Tali would be great here because it'd be like, okay, he gets that agility back.
Right.
It's amazing what the difference between 2 and 1 agility is on these ships.
Going with the target lock. He's got the force still.
Smart. Really laying it all into Poe. This is a good move by Tarok, too, because the next turn, that Ion, he can just use it to bump right in. Or, honestly, he can just take the one forward focus next round and be like, whatever, it's fine. Like, these ships don't natively have the one forward, so if he can use that one forward to his advantage.
Well, think of next turn a little bit. If you have a K turn, right, with Ketsu, and then that's another box you can create for yourself if you think Poe is going to be in that
and you
area.
still have that force from Maul.
Right. I haven't seen a ton of Cav other than that one shot here. It'll be interesting if he brings him quick, or maybe kind of comes around, maybe hedges his bets a little bit, right?
Well, that with Cavill, that veteran turret gunner and his ability really just hammers into you.
If I'm Steven here, I'm kind of looking at Cavill. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, that's interesting.
Is do I just bring Nien and Tali up to Cavill?
Sure.
And maybe try to get half points there. Yeah.
But you can't allow Ketsu to just hang around either.
Right.
Because if you start losing guns, right, like let's say the worst happens and Poe gets not like killed here by Ketsu and Tarok, then it becomes so much harder to take Ketsu out if you don't get the damage on her early while you have the guns.
Right.
Going for maybe a block here.
And it's going around.
Yeah.
Kind of playing both sides here.
Sure.
Could be going for the block.
Be curious to see if he rotates that turret.
Yeah.
Nope, just takes the focus. Smart.
Well, yeah, I think the turret kind of comes around here. And there's probably not too much of expectation for anyone to be there.
Wasn't sure if you would actually rotate it this way.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but
it turns out that would have been okay.
So here's something really interesting. We might get the black one Talon here.
Yeah. Was he going to make range 1? It's hard to see behind Ketsu there.
Well, Tarok's behind Ketsu, so
yeah,
he can boost with, and it looks like he's going to do it. He's going to black one Talon.
Oh, I think he has the range 1 already.
And he can pattern analyzer still. So yeah, so I think what he's going to do is he's going to pattern analyzer lock, because I'm pretty sure that's already range 1.
Yep.
And he's
got the static charge.
Static discharge, and he gets rid of the stress because it's in the end. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Now Cavill is, he can't rotate, so he'll have 2 incredible shots here. So he should be able to pattern. He's checking for the ability to clear that stress, which he has, and he clears the stress from the Talon. So it should be a target lock focus here with pattern analyzer and then his ability.
Can he get 2 off the pattern?
Yes, because I think that's how he works. I think he can.
Let's see. So he's for sure taking the target lock. Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I was.
Because I think you skip on the pattern, right?
While you fully execute a red maneuver before check build. Yeah, no. He can definitely do 2 actions, because it's when you perform a red maneuver you get the action.
Oh, that's right.
And then you still do your perform action step.
Right.
So I'm wondering if maybe he
forgot,
or there's something I'm missing there. I'm sure Twitch stream is yelling at me.
Yeah.
So, let's see what he does with Tolly. Just boost.
Lock boost.
Yeah. That's good, because next round that he can just do a 2 forward rotate, like focus rotate, and get another shot at the Ion to Cavill.
Here's the question here, Poe.
Let's see what he does.
3 straight.
3 straight. See, I think that was a little fast. He's going to BB-8, though.
Yeah.
Use the BB-8 charge. Smart. And then he's going to Poe to boost.
Right. And then he'll get out of the...
And then he'll get out.
Yep.
And he'll just be like, nope, this is fine.
Good maneuverability.
Really good. Yep. Forgot about BB-8 for a second there.
I did too.
But that's why you take it.
Yeah.
That's why. And this is something Steven is really good at. He's flown BB-8 Poe quite a bit, and he is very, very good at, and he's going to Poe action to take a lock. He's so great at using Poe as bait.
Right.
People go in and they sell out for Poe, and they forget about Nien, and Nien's able to get behind them, and now look at what the board state is.
Yeah.
That Nien static discharge veins is so cheeky. I love it. I love it.
It's something you don't expect.
No.
Right? It's almost like this BB-8 too, where you're thinking it doesn't come up normally for you most likely, and so when it happens, you go, oh, well that's not great.
I love that.
Yeah. And it looks like Vince is left here with no shots.
That's incredible. That's crazy.
It's a tough position to be in.
For sure.
Yeah.
So Nien's going to take a range 1 at Cavill. As a lock. He did take the focus.
Oh, he did,
from,
yeah.
Just didn't put it out. So hit crit on the Cavill. And 1 evade. So
2 shields?
Yep.
Yep. All things considered here, not other than positioning, not too bad of a result.
Right.
For Vince, right?
But, well, Tarok's taking that Ion now.
Yep.
From the disabled power regulator, so that's done. So I'm going to clear that crit.
And so Fuelic still active. Not too bad from a damage perspective, but it is tough to see. So we have to be here.
Yeah,
we
2
have
Ion
to be
chips
here.
on that 1 dial, yeah.
So the question is, where do we go with Ketsu, right? And so
I think you K-turn.
I don't think you have any other option.
I think you have any other option than to do that 5K. And black one's been burned. You want to keep those rocks in front of you. And you want to protect your ships. What I'm really curious about is whether Steven will continue to chip at the Ion Cavill, or try to go after old T, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you have Poe as an option as well, and
right.
I think there's another option here because I think you can move the arc now. I think it's safe to say that this tractor is not going to happen
Sure.
within the next turn or maybe even 2 turns.
Yeah.
I think maybe you just come in here and say, okay, I'm going to start taking my shots.
Yeah.
I know that you're either going after this guy or this guy, and I want to at least be able to trade damage or have the possibility to do some damage to you while that's happening. I can't control that, but I can control the shots I get on Ketsu, right?
Right.
Because to this point, Ketsu's taken 1 shot? Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, and don't forget, Poe's stressed because he cleared all his stuff from the BB-8. He did the 3 green forward. So Poe does a 2 forward. So I think Poe does a 2 forward left here. And then he's got room to do other sort of shenanigans. So a 2 forward left puts him like here. And then
could even boost around. As simple as that.
Yeah, he could even come take like a wide berth around as well if he wanted. I think, honestly, I think you do a 1 bank here with Nien, and you just don't worry about Cavill right now because you can get a really good range 2 shot on Tarok.
Right.
And try and, like, finish him off. You get a crit through or something, game over for Tarok anyway.
Oh, and it looks like you were right. They are going to take the K turn with Ketsu.
You just want to keep – oh, look, tweak that template just a little bit.
Yep.
So, yeah, the it just helps keep everything in front of him, those rocks in front of him.
Right.
Still has that force for a mod if need be as well. And don't forget, Fearless is there as well if something is unfortunate enough to land in her front arc.
I think Vince was hoping it would be Poe that last turn.
Yeah, I bet he was. But that BB-8 Poe, so sneaky. A lot of gotchas in this squad if you're not careful.
He kind of took a look around and said, you know what, I'm okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about this dog.
So the obligatory 1 straight focus,
sure.
right? Yep. Tally's got a little bit ways to go around. So
sure,
Tally's
but that's what
A-Wings
A-Wings do, man. Yeah, she'll probably, I don't know, 2 bank here. Can't tell what that is. Just
2
straight.
Forward, probably move, yeah.
Yeah, you could reverse that arc if you wanted to take a kind of obstructed shot, but she's got the
target lock.
Yep.
And looks,
Yep.
Well, no reason not to take
Focus,
the shots,
rotate,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just try to keep chipping. And he might. Let's see what he decided to do
I think he's
here.
going to go after Cavill. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's another 2 points, right? Like it's another it's 2 damage to half points.
Yeah, it's just gonna shred him now. You can take the lock probably.
Yeah, no danger here, right?
Yeah.
Didn't move the arc. You can't move the arc.
Yeah, so yeah, you take the lock here because you're not getting shot at. Focus and lock have equal odds, essentially. For lock has a little higher crit percentage, but equal like damage outcome on your dice odds. And you do it because since you're not being shot, if you don't end up needing the lock, let's say you roll natties or something, you can have it for the next round. There's a value add there.
Right.
And that's the kind of line of thinking between deciding on a lock and a focus in that situation.
Looks like we were right on Poe, too. He's going to turn in.
Yep.
Probably take a boost. Probably take his shot at Old Tarok here.
Yeah, I think you just take a boost. He didn't open his foils, though. So he's going to barrel roll and see if he gets that HLC.
He looks good on our angle, but we are at a tilt.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be tight. So he'll take a stress here, so he won't be able to BB-8 next round. Also needs to be careful that he doesn't take 1 accidental damage from Ketsu.
Yeah.
For that Shadowcaster, which is possible, but he does have heroic. No mods though.
Well, again, same story where, you never know what might happen
Sure.
when you don't give yourself any of those mods.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it's going to be Steven with Poe first.
Yeah. So he's going to check that HLC to see if he gets it on Tarok. Looks like he does.
Yeah.
Looks like he does. So he'll roll 4 dice. Unmodded. Double crit.
Yep.
And if one of those sneaks through.
Well, it's HLC, yeah.
So none of those sneak through.
Yeah, well, he actually had the lock from the turn before.
Oh, interesting. Forgot about that. I forgot that he locked him. Smart. So he does get to use the lock. That crit stays, though. Pretty sure that crit stays because it's a reroll. Yeah. I think that crit stays.
New pairings are up. This
they were checking. It's after the lock phase.
Right. Got it. So
yeah, after the lock stage, so it does change to a hit, so it's just 3 hits.
Yep. Yep. Different rules, thinking first edition.
Yeah.
So
when it looks like one gets through, and that crit becomes very important there because Tarek lives now.
He does. One left. Still has the fuel leak. Thanks.
And so Vince is going to have, looks like a range 3 obstructed pot shot.
Yeah.
They're going to check if an arc here.
I think he's got it, though. That's a hit crit. Easy.
Oh, and he's 3, yeah.
No problem, yeah. No problem.
Mods.
Didn't need the mods. Didn't need it. And then now Elo gets to take a, or not Elo, Nien gets to take a really nice shot here at Cavill with the lock. Hit crit.
Yep.
Rerolls 2. Crit will be going through. So hit 2 crits.
Right.
So 2 crits will be going through regardless here.
So and it's the full.
Yeah, hit crit crit. We'll see what those crits are in a second. Hit crit is, I think, structural damage and hard to see.
Stabilizer structural.
Loose stabilizer structural. All right, so hit, crit, crit, structural, and loose stabilizer. So got a lot happening. Loose stabilizer, non-straight maneuver takes a damage, super rough, and then even worse, structural damage, -1 agility, and you can't repair that.
And effectively 0 at this point.
Yeah.
Tally takes the shot behind.
And
the structural, I think you limit to 1
huge.
here if it's
if it's a rain. I think he might get
1.
No, he gets 2. You range 3 obstructed, so he takes 1 more there. So Cavill now down to 2, and if he doesn't do a straight, he'll be down to 1.
Right. More importantly, though, half points.
Yeah,
right. So it's kind of pushing the tempo a little bit.
Yeah.
Where Vince is saying, "Okay, I'm behind 56."
Yeah.
And there's nothing on Steven's side that he can kill to make that, or to half to make that up, right? So it's got to be multiple. It's got to kill something, or he's got 2 half.
Exactly.
Right? And he's not in a great position to do that right now, although Ketsu is kind of bearing down a little bit on Poe, who is stressed.
It's really interesting. Steven's been in control the entire game, right? He's made it, put everything on his terms, and Vince now has to choose what he does here. I think that, honestly, with Cavill, I think you have a lot of bad things going for you. I think you 4K, and if you take the 1 damage, go down to 1, and you take the double, try to get that double shot on the end, and because you're at the same initiative as him, so if you die, you'll get a double shot in the end and maybe try and get some damage through.
Yeah.
Right? You just want to try and get some shots at this point. And Tarok as well needs to figure out a way to get back around. So if you can sort of sell out against Nien a little bit here with Ketsu and Cavill and Tarok, maybe you could at least spook him down a little bit to half.
Well, the one benefit here is that Tally's not going anywhere.
No.
Tally is not going to be relevant in this next combat, most likely, right? Well, and if you do K-turn the Cavill, and maybe even 1 hard to the left of the screen, but to the ship's right, maybe you can get double shots there, and kind of like you said, pick one, right?
Yeah.
Pick Cavill or pick Tarok. And again, this is dependent on what Poe does, right? But you pick one of those, and then maybe you can get that to half, and then that becomes your work back in, right?
Exactly.
Like, and meanwhile, you still have Ketsu, who's still threatening Poe here, right? And there's no BB-8 tricks this turn, at least. Right?
Yeah, at least this turn because he's stressed.
Yeah.
I really like these static discharge veins on the end. Just like, I'm not just thinking for this matchup, but just for any matchup, right? Like, there are lots of very dangerous small base chips, and what's so cheeky about it is that 1 time per game, because Nien moves before all of these other I6s you'd be scared of, you're controlling where that I6 goes.
Yeah.
You dictate, no. This turn, you don't get to move, do all the things you want to do.
Well, I think it had a big impact on Cavill here because that ion, it's like you're done, right? Like you're not going to rotate. You're not doing anything fancy here. And the next turn on now with these crits, again, you're not really doing anything else, right? Couldn't control the crits, but that one turn where you're just, that's the half points turn, right?
And sorry, I misspoke. When you pass that ion, it's not that the I6 has to do the ion then. But they're ionized for the following round, which is really big because that means for 2 rounds in a row, they can only do a focus.
Right.
Because when you're ioned, you only get to do that focus regardless of what's on your dial. That's the recent ion change.
Yeah.
So, think about going against, Anakin or any of these other Jedi. If he's able to toss that ion on these Jedi, they can't do any of their other shenanigans.
Well, it looks like you called it here, Ryan. He's going to go with the 4K. He's going to take the damage.
Just try and take those shots, yeah. He does flip it, though, when he takes that damage.
Yep.
So.
Don't be stressed. Let's see what Tarok's doing. It's coming around. Yep. He's going
to sell out against Nien.
Exactly. He's going to bet on it.
So I think he can do a focus barrel roll here, which is what I would do. And then what you do is you cover with Ketsu, and you say to Poe, if you want to kill Tarok, then
I'm going to put a lot of damage in you.
Yeah, I'm going to blast you.
Exactly.
Oh, the boost.
Boost,
that's fine
okay,
too.
yeah.
Reposition focus. I think I would have barrel rolled there, but I mean, obviously.
I think he maybe wants to get a little bit further, maybe try to get the range 3 or See with Ketsu.
Could be 3 bank here.
Oh, he's gonna sell completely with Ketsu for
going all in.
Yeah.
Black 1's gone, so if Nien maybe puts himself in a bad position.
Be interesting if he turns the arc here, because he probably isn't looking for the
that tractor.
The tractor.
Would be interesting.
We alluded to it early on in the stream, early on in the round, but it's so important to know when to start turning that mobile arc around. He's going to take the lock.
If you're going to go all in, go all in, right?
So Tally probably just going to come around.
Yeah, you just do the 2 hard. You clear that stress. You
maybe
focus,
a boost
rotate.
if you want to. Yeah. That type of thing.
Yeah. Boost
focus,
or focus,
sorry,
rotate.
Focus rotate.
Yeah, next round you can do a 2 bank or 2 hard, whatever you please. And he's aware she's gone for this. This is why I would have done the barrel roll.
Yeah, because you're not. It doesn't look. It looks pretty close. Too close for comfort, really. And that foils are open. Takes the focus.
That's fine.
See how fast Steven decided to go here with the 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably looking to PS kill.
Yeah, hopefully trying to take out Tarok there. And he'll be able to focus lock right on Tarok. Probably has HLC still. The other good thing that barrel roll may have done for you is, you're still in, you'd be in range 1 of Poe, so I guess, that's a tough call.
Yeah.
You're more likely to survive this shot than something else.
Right.
But focus lock, HLC.
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough, yeah.
But this is what Vince had to do.
Yeah.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
So let's see.
Gonna see if you can token strip with Tarok.
Right.
And that's not based on Tarok's arc. It's based on Nien's arc.
And it looks like they're gonna check exactly that here.
Pretty sure. Yeah, it's Nien's arc, not Tarok's arc. So if Nien is in range 1 of Tarok there, then he loses the focus token. Might need to call a judge. Hard to tell.
Yep, and judge is over. It looks like they've got some wiggle room there.
So it looks like it is going to be range 2, which is a nightmare scenario for Tarok there. So keeps that focus.
Hasn't really been able to strip anything all game,
no.
right? Yeah.
No.
Hasn't come into play.
Steven's been doing some really great range control there.
So it looks like Poe's going to take the HLC shot.
Yeah. And
Probably locking all of it.
Yeah.
And
that is going to do it.
Yep.
Because he only has 1 haul, 3 evade. Can't evade all of them.
Wow.
He tried. He tried his,
he
tried his
really
best.
hard.
What if I try real hard? What if I really want it? That's just so insulting.
Yeah, that's you hate to see that as a player, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd rather just blank out at that point,
yeah,
right?
Like, oh well.
Just make me take all 4 instead of
the sad natties.
Yeah.
Saddies.
Great.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
So the initiative kill with Poe there, and Poe, people have been saying he is out of the meta right now. He doesn't do his performance well against the Nantex, but at the end of the day, he's still an I6 with double actions, and these sorts of situations are where he can be really powerful, just coming in and laying that hammer, protecting your other ships.
Well, you can only be good against what you're playing, right?
Sure.
So there's no Nantex on the board.
Nope.
Right? So in this situation,
He's good.
It's
Yeah.
We're fine.
We're fine.
So it looks like Ketsu's taking shot. Yep.
No, this would be, I think, Nien.
Ketsu
oh,
at
no,
Nien,
Ketsu
yeah.
at Nien, yeah.
And does take 2. That's,
Yep, he will take 2 there. And gets tractored as well, don't forget. So he'll get tractored, I bet, forward so that Cavill can have a double tap.
Qualifier players, 28 minutes remaining in round 1.
Yeah, so I bet that he gets a double tap. So the tractor.
It's going to be really important here because I think, as you just heard in the announcers, 28 minutes left.
I think you bring him forward.
Yeah.
I think you have to bring him forward because, for this exact reason, unless you think you can get him on that rock to your right, and that's probably what he's thinking about.
It's such a close call. But even then, putting him on the rock, is it more important than...
Keeping Cavill alive is more important.
It is,
sure.
yeah.
For sure, if you get him on that rock. But because you could do another damage on the rock, and then Cavill could sneak him through as well the next round. But if you can't eyeball it and you don't think you can get him on that rock, you have to get him forward to ensure that Cavill can get a really good double tap in.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're talking through now, trying to decide on that movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think that the barrel roll right puts him on the rock.
It doesn't look like it. Yeah, and
he's
I
gonna
think he's
boost him
going to boost him forward. I think that's a good decision.
Because you're losing Cavill here.
Yeah.
So you may as well just...
If not here, next turn, right?
Well, all Nien's got to do is get... Is that a range 1? I think it is, which would be really big for Vince. No, it's range 2. It looks
so
like
primary
1.
First, yeah.
Yep, so
we'll see if he's going to take the 1, yeah.
Yep. Still over half. Vince with the hit crit and the evade, so he will take a crit there.
Yep.
We'll see what that crit is.
So we're going to update the shield here in a moment. -1 shield, -1 hull, and weapons failure.
That weapons failure is big.
Yeah.
I can't hear myself anymore. I don't know if they can hear us.
I can hear you, Ryan.
Oh, I can't hear me.
We're working on some of the audio issues here.
Oh, now I can hear Nami.
Okay.
There we go.
Hi, Ryan.
Hey.
So it looks like Nien does finish off.
He does. But he takes a half points there.
Yeah.
Which is not, with 26 minutes left and a full Ketsu is not the worst, right?
Right.
At least Vince was able to play that right and really hurt Nien there. Weapons failure is not great there for Nien.
It isn't, but again, it's about just Ketsu now, right?
Yeah.
So Ketsu's got to take some shots. I don't think the tractor's really in play anymore. It's going to be tough to do if you're going to. If you get it, that's great.
Yeah.
But I think right now it's more important to start laying down shots.
Well, the most important thing for Vince here is that he avoided the full table.
Right.
So
Yeah. As we all know, that's the most important thing, not tabled.
Not getting tabled, right?
And we did use black 1, right? Nien?
He did,
okay,
yes. Yeah. He did use black 1. So we'll adjust that charge in a minute.
Sure. We'll get Tally to come around here, and then Poe is probably going to take it slow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, we might have...
I think we're going to get Dion back in here.
A Dion in the game.
Hi, Dion.
Solving issues, guys.
Oh, you're hot for me.
Yeah, you're definitely hot.
You're spicy hot.
Is that better?
Now it's low.
A little cold. A
little cold. A little cold.
Trying to find that perfect spot. Is
there it is.
Hey.
We got it. Hey, what's
Welcome,
going on?
Dion.
Hey, you're joining us now. What's
hey,
up, man?
Not much. Solving the world's issues.
That's what you're doing.
And we have an amazing setup here. I got to tell you guys. I think this is one of the most ambitious setups ever. We've got computers everywhere. We've got people on headsets everywhere. We've got tables. This is awesome. I've never been part of anything like this.
This is incredible.
So,
yeah, this is cool. This is really rad. It's great that Dion can hop from stream to stream.
Yeah, we've been talking about
I just wish that everything was working.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's game one. It's okay. Day one, game one. Let's let's work out some of these
LCQ.
kinks.
It's okay if the things aren't perfect for the LCQ. You know. We're double checking a couple things on stream.
Yeah. So really tough situation here.
Yes.
For men's.
Yeah. I mean, it would be different if Ketsu were in a little better spot, but Ketsu won't be able to do everything she wants to do here. Nien could easily just Talon roll here if he wants. And even if he bumps, that's okay.
Do you think the first step here is to kill Nien? Because I think that's where Vince's best positioning is, right?
I think you
just
can't
take like a one.
I think you can't chase, though. I think that you need to get in a position where you could get your win condition with 23 minutes left is to, let's see, he's at 38. There's 112. You got to just get points.
He's got to kill Nien most likely, and then he's got to half Poe, and then I think you're very close. I don't think,
If you kill Nien, right, and
so that brings you up to 75.
Yeah, because Nien's thick.
Yeah.
Plus you half Poe, so that'd be 41.
Yep.
Plus 41. That's 116. So that's the win.
That's the win, right? And
not
by the way, not get it half yourself, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So with 22 minutes left, what you need to do here is you need to be focus evaded, and decide, because you won't know. You have to mitigate damage yourself and hope for natties.
Well, and this is where the Mobark is so key, right? Like, does he take the risk and move the Mobark and see if he can't get shots in multiple angles?
Well, let's see what happens here. It'd be interesting.
Takes the 2 hard in the action here. Yeah, I think he's thinking the same line as you are, saying, okay, well, I can't take any more, so I have to.
And I can't. The angles are very strange, but if he's in a spot where he could 5K next round and not hit that rock, obviously I can't tell.
Yeah.
It's close, but if he could 5K next round and not hit that rock, that's really great.
Well, the dream here is if Poe goes straight.
Yeah,
and
Poe doesn't one forward.
If he lands, or even a 2, or maybe a 3. 3 is close.
A 3 doesn't clear.
Yeah, but he's going to get the tractor, right? Because it still counts as both.
Yeah.
That's the dream scenario.
The dream is that Poe only did, bumps into him there. Because there's no BB-8 here.
It looks like Tally's coming back around to the fight.
I think Poe's going to be okay, and here's why. If Poe wasn't going to be okay, he would have bank boosted to put Ketsu in Tali's bullseye.
Right.
To get that extra evade. So, is it going to be the 4K? 4K pattern analyzer boost? Into range 1, ditch the stress, focus, lock.
Oh, is he going to get range 1, though?
I think the boost does. I think the bank boost does. But if he wants, he could very well just hang out there and not close.
There's no threat, right?
There's no threat.
Even if you don't ditch the stress, there's really not a concern.
So you just pattern analyzer, lock if you want.
Yeah.
Right? Do it, though. He's going to go for it all. It'll be close. I don't think he quite gets it, but even if he doesn't, it's fine.
Oh, he's got it. Yeah,
oh, God, the dream, the dream. Easy, calculated. So
never any doubt.
Never any doubt. So lose the stress, focus, target lock, just everything. Oh, no, sorry, you boost as the action, so he could probably lock as or focus as the thing. And he will bump, though, here. So I'm surprised he didn't bank boost with Tali there. Maybe the bank boost would have not been in the bullseye either. Again, hard to tell with this angle.
Yeah. I don't think he was I certainly wasn't expecting the 2 hard over.
True.
Yeah.
True. So, yeah, you'll tractor Poe.
Big turn here now, right? If you can get half on Poe on 1 shot.
Yeah. Well, he's got a tough choice to make, too, because don't forget, if he
tractors off,
he moves Poe, oh, you know what? He may have, with his other action, fixed his weapons failure. I can't tell. for Steven instead of focusing. I think he may have fixed his weapons
Oh,
failure.
that's probably fair, yeah.
Got a bit of a table bump there. Yeah, he did fix the weapons failure with his action. I think he's trying to decide if he wants to move Poe or not, and whether it's worth letting Poe have a range 1 shot back.
Well, he for sure won't win if he doesn't take the shot, right? I think that's the kind of line of thought you go into where, okay, if I don't do this, if I don't take this shot, I will for sure lose, right?
I think you have to move Poe and just, I know you're taking a lot of shots back, but you need to.
Yeah.
Because he's an unmod, and Poe doesn't have any mods, right? He could blank out. He could not blank out, but he's definitely going to, like, you need to take the shots in order to win with the 19 minutes left.
Bet Vince is wishing there was a rock right around.
I know.
Right, a couple
that's the
inches
thing.
closer.
Well, and that's what we said. Like, Steven wanted the engagement to be happening where? Right here.
Exactly.
And that's where it is. Whereas Vince really wished that it would be happening here or here, and he got stuck right in the middle.
Right.
Really tough choice, though. But it's he's in a situation where you can't get in that feedback loop. You just need to make a choice, right or wrong, because there are only 18 minutes left.
Exactly, yeah.
If you're going to have a chance to climb out of the hole, you got to do everything you can.
These tough decisions really can work against you when you're down and you're trying to find a way out.
Right.
Those are some nice-looking tractor tokens, though.
They are. Where, you know what? You know where you can get those tractor tokens?
I think it's a place called Curlpaw Creatives.
Curlpaw Creatives. And you know what? They are sponsoring the Gold Squadron podcast stream, and you can get 20% off all items in Curlpaw Creatives by going to curledpawcreatives.com using promo code WORLD2019.
That is active right now and is active throughout the whole weekend as well.
Yes,
all
it
the
is.
tokens you'll see, all of these big, beautiful tokens are all designed there.
No limit on the 20% off order either. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, you can, whatever you do, 20% off. And he is going to do it.
He's going to tractor him off, yeah.
Yeah.
No choice here.
He has to.
Yeah.
At least he moves the bullseye out. I mean, it's probably going to be range 1 anyway. I think he was hoping that maybe the angles would shake out that Poe didn't have a shot, but here we go.
Okay.
Only 2.
2 crits, yeah. And he's got the evade token. He's got the force.
Sure. So he could definitely evade this. So spend the evade token.
Spend the token, yep.
No damage.
Yep.
So now he still has the force for the offense follow-up, which is big.
So we're looking at 4 into 1.
4 on 1.
Yep.
And fearless.
And fearless.
Force fearless.
Yeah. He's looking for
Tali. Yeah, he was seeing if he had the extra agility from Tali. Did not have the bullseye to make that happen. So Nian, we know, has range 1 because he cleared the stress.
Yep.
So they're just rechecking it, due to the bump. So Ketsu will go. Range 1, fearless, force. Really good shot.
Sounds good to me. Oh. Bit tougher on the roll there. And so just fearlesses for 1, yeah. Takes 1.
Only 1 damage, that's rough.
Yeah. I was expecting a little bit more there.
Correction on our previous statement, 15% off.
15% off. Oh,
Spot Creative.
Thank you, Dion.
Thank you, Dion. we had bad information.
No limit on the 15%.
No limit on the 15% off.
Still good. Still
that's
good
where
deal.
it is. That's where it is.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this in the future on another stream, is probably expired. So 2 coming in now.
I think this is a tally, right?
Yeah, I think so. It has to be.
Yeah.
2.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Had the cloud too.
Yep.
Which was big.
And here comes Nian, who fixed the weapons failure.
Oh, it's pretty
3,
good.
Yeah.
It's 3. Definitely taking 1. Still has the force though.
Just looking for some paint here. Oh, and that's
brutal,
not it. Yeah.
Brutal. That's a hard 3 going into her. 1 away from half now.
Yeah. Not quite there yet, but
man, he really needed to lay the pain into Poe. Like,
yeah.
let's say, like, there was a reality where he rolled, hit like 2 hits, a crit, and a blank, or a hit, an eyeball, a blank, and a crit,
right.
and that turned into 3 hits and a crit, and Poe rolls a blank, and then you're laying a crit into him, which could be a direct, you know.
Then there's your half, and then there's your win condition somewhere
There's
else.
all kinds of things can happen there. Obviously, it didn't happen, but you can see how an X-wing something could flip just like that, you know. I think,
you know, and to be fair, Vince chose that evade. Vince felt that he needed to be defensive here, and so again, when you leave yourself, I know when we talk about mods and we talk about these force and like these single die rerolls.
Right.
When you're just impacting one die like that on these like 4 die, 5 die shots, it's really tough, right? It's not a reliable way to say, hey, I really need this, right?
Exactly. So the real question is, if we draw this line as straight as possible, I don't think there's any way that K turn gets. Oh, I don't know what to do. I did something. Oh no.
Ryan messed up the Madden board.
Save me. Save me, Dion.
Dion's going to save us.
There it is.
Hey, thank you, Dion.
Thanks, buddy.
The 5K is risky here.
I don't think it fits. I really don't. Obviously, angles and, you know, camera and stuff, but now he's stuck trying to decide what his best option here is. 13 minutes left to go, and Steven's in the driver's seat for this one.
Right.
And that means he would potentially be 1 game away from making it to Worlds with 5 to go.
You get your 2 wins. I'll take the 3rd one off. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Well, 3 guarantees it. 2 is a good shot.
Yeah. Well, it's Steven here. He kind of has to take it easy. He just goes 1 straight, 1 bank. Doesn't really have a ton of tough choices. You can even 4K with Poe. Not really worry about it, right?
Yeah. The burden of execution is entirely on Vince here.
Well, with Vince, like the biggest threat, right, is Nian. Or sorry, for Steven, like the biggest threat here is if, you know, Nian gets popped. But with that arc facing, and he's going to take a left turn here, I think over the gas cloud.
Yeah.
He's going to go over that gas cloud. Won't have any mods here. We'll keep that force. But might be looking at Tally, trying to see if he can bump Tally, get her on the rock, do some damage there. Again, just hunting for points. And Tally's going to bank to the right here. Just out of arc, it looks like. So, yeah. Good anticipation from Steven.
Yeah.
Just to get out of any danger. He's going to have a shot in return. He's going to focus.
Let's not forget that these optics shots with these A-Wings are just hyper accurate and can, like, round after round.
Yeah.
Like, you can be focused on these HLC shots from, you know, from Nien and Poe, but at the end of the day, it could be the A-Wing that ends up doing that last bit.
Yeah. Well, when you don't have the evade, the very accurate 2s start becoming a problem, right? Especially when you're I think, two from half. Well, yeah. And it's just anything now here is just gravy for Steven.
Sure.
Just saying, sure. I'm going to keep taking these points. BB-8, second charge.
Let's see if it's a 1 bank to the right. Making good use of that BB-8.
Focus. Exactly.
Yeah. We could see Ketsu even go this round, potentially. Yeah. And then...
a lot of guns on and no one in arc, right?
the dream. Steven's done a really, really good job controlling the game with his positioning. You talk about, you know, how can you win a game of X-Wing through positioning? That's exactly what we saw here.
Well, and it's the approach, too,
yes.
right? Any type of approach here, or here is in trouble.
Yeah.
But made sure that didn't happen.
Yeah, he made sure he was speedy, fast, speedy, fast in the end. Okay.
He's got all the mods in the world. He's going to get 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, fun fact there. I think mathematically, if you have a focus and you roll, I could be wrong on this, but if you only roll 1 focus and 3 blanks like that, I think it's better. It might be better to reroll all of them.
It is. Yeah.
I think that's where the math falls on that. I'm not totally certain, but there's this old like rack scenario, like
oh yeah, that's right.
Where if you only have 1, but that might only be if you have 1, if you can only convert 1 of them. Yeah. Can't remember.
In this case, it's, you know, Steven doesn't have anything
it doesn't
come back, so Steven's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to take the guaranteed.
Yeah.
But if you were looking for crits or anything like that, you target lock all of them.
Yeah. I actually wasn't paying attention to how much damage was done.
Sure. So did 3 on the first one. It looks like he's going to take a crit here.
Yeah. So he dealt 3 on the first one.
So I got you on the 3. Yeah.
And then this one
is a crit.
Yeah, 1 crit.
Looks like pilot.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's wounded.
Yeah, we'll go check that
If it
crit
matters.
here in a second.
Yeah, that was the Tolly shot. And then a lock win in the end. He gets HLC. Unless it's already range 1. I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I think it's
3
just
and a
normal
crit.
range 1. Yeah. I think that might do it. We'll see. What's he rolling? 2 here. Oh, he does get the cloud.
Yeah.
So another hit crit.
Let's see.
Hit.
Oh, he got 3 because he spent the force,
Right.
I believe, right?
Yeah.
So we've got 2 crits on the board. Let me go check on that.
Sure. And he should only have 1 health left or 2. Fuel leak, wounded pilots. So on that crit, on that, he'll take another one. So if he takes a crit, he dies.
Yep.
And if he takes a crit when he rolls an action, he'll also die. So not a great situation here.
Yeah. And not a lot of great options. Steven's done a good job, like you said, of controlling.
He's behind Ketsu now.
He's behind Ketsu. He's kind of all over the place. Ketsu doesn't have great places to turn.
Sure.
Right?
I think Vince might be in a situation where he could very well just have to accept defeat.
Tractor's only gone off 1 time and only from a shot.
That's
not
incredible. That's incredible.
What's going on here in table 2?
So it looks like Steven is in control of the game. Ketsu's down to 2 health with a wounded and a fuel leak. And right now, only half on Nien, taking 1 damage off Poe. Great positioning. We were just mentioning that Ketsu has only got her ability tractor off 0 times a game, and the Shadow Caster title tractor off once. So Steven's done a really good job with range control and his approach and positioning to keep the strengths of Vince's squad in check.
Yeah. So, and on this turn, it looks even worse here for Vince. Not a ton of great places to turn to, not a ton of great targets to get to.
Right.
And so, looks like he's going to take to the right. Probably tired of getting shot at this point.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not a lot he can do about that, though.
Yeah. And he is going to move the mobile arc now and say, okay, I'm just going to take my shots. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, and he's going to have to roll on that because he just did an action. So.
I want to say for everybody at home, want to thank you for your patience. I know that we're having a couple of issues here technically. We're trying to solve it. We're trying to lock it down. We're going to call R2 and see what we can do. Thank you for your patience, and we're going to leave it back to Nami and Ryan here at table 2.
Thanks, Dion.
Thanks, Dion. Yeah, and he did roll a hit on that wounded pilot on the rotate. So.
Doesn't look like he took the damage. Yeah, is it just
No, I think. I don't know what happened there. Oh, it's a stress, not a damage. It's a stress, not a damage. Right. It clicked as soon as I saw it. Right. That's why the stress is out there.
Yeah.
I can't see the Twitch stream, but I can imagine the Twitch stream.
Yeah.
They might not even be listening to us. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, 4K there. With
Good hedging here on that bet. I'm just saying, okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm going to get out of there. If you're going to probably anticipate a turn to the left and get
It's fine. I mean, it's fine. You can just do a 3 Talon next. Oh, no, he can't. He's stressed, but whatever.
Well,
He's fine.
Poe's in a great position here to try to end the game.
Yeah, just 1 bank.
Exactly.
Easy peasy. Get the bullseye. Focus lock.
Focus lock. Nothing fancy about it.
No. God, I love Poe.
Yeah. You know, I know it's a meme at this point. I love movie ships.
Me too.
I love movie pilots.
Me too.
I really like Star Wars. Shocker, right?
Yeah, I'm really excited for the next movie, and Poe's my favorite character from the new films, and 4 hits coming in hot.
And so I think that's going to do it here. I don't think there's any. Yep.
Yeah, and that's going to
He's
do it.
3, and that's it.
And Steven's going to take the first game of this LCQ Last Chance Qualifier. Thank you for watching the Gold Squadron podcast and the stream.
Yeah.
Sorry? Oh, now we're going to table 1. I didn't know we were live.
Yeah.